Welcome in 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Getting in your car. How was it tonight? How was it? How was the green experience? Got your Celtics shirt on. You had your little popcorn, maybe a halftime slice. Stopped at Card Vault on the way in. Bought some cards. You know, saw a couple of friends that you knew. Walked around, took some photos. Maybe someone painted your face on the concourse. Maybe you got some of that, the Cheetos popcorn that's Max likes. Did you see any of that the other night, guys? Because I did.
I did not see that, no.
I was looking at what everybody was eating, of course. You know what my opening take is on this one, guys? Outside of the great night that Jason Tatum had, I'm looking at Twitter, and I'm seeing guys like Mike Greenberg, Skip Bayless, LeBron James, big people across the country that are like, this is great to see. Congrats, Jason Tatum. What a comeback. This is impressive. Chris, man, this is great. Like, the feeling across the country that I see on social media is, this is an amazing story. A feel-good story, right? Like a feel-good story. People happy for Jason Tatum. Nationally, of course. And maybe this is where I've become a petty Boston sports talk show host, where it's easy to just kind of crap all over everything, right? It's very easy to just be like, nah, he stinks. You know? All over the country. Yes, nationally. People are happy for Jason Tatum tonight. And you know what? Not just happy. Impressed. Like getting on a bike. I couldn't help but look at social media tonight. If I was at the game, I wouldn't have looked a bit. But I'm here. I've got the World Baseball Classic on, the Celtics game on. We're kicking around here tonight. We're going to take you up until 11 o'clock. We're here. Everybody we know's at the game. And just, you know, I don't want to blah. Don't think I am blah. Because it's easy to do. Blah! It's easy to do. People around the country are happy for Jason Tatum. Good. This was good tonight. This was good for him. This was good for the Celtics. This was good for the community. This was good for the fan base. What could be bad from this tonight? Watching Jason Tatum, who you saw lose on national TV, his team go down in 5 games? To the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks ended the Celtics run. And that disgusts me. And then losing Jason Tatum on top of it. And then a new ownership group. Trading Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Al Horford moving on. I was down and out on the Celtics. The team that I like to watch night in and night out that we've covered a championship with. It bothered me. I felt like we would talk to guys like Barstool Greeny who would tell us this year doesn't matter. Nothing matters at all. Nothing matters. But it mattered to Brad Stevens. It mattered to Jaylen Brown. It mattered to Joe Mazzulla and Derek White and Peyton Pritchard. And it mattered to Jason Tatum. It mattered. And call it green teaming, whatever you want. Sometimes there are good stories. Sometimes they do have to make documentaries. Sometimes it isn't a good look. Sometimes guys can be boring. But it's sports. This is why we watch sports, for the cinema, for the storyline, for the drama, for the happiness, for the smiles, for exactly what I'm going to talk about tonight. This was a feel-good moment. You're going to remember Jason Tatum's first basket returning from his injury, a slam dunk follow-up, followed by a three-pointer in the corner. He started 0 for 6 and then went 6 for 10 the rest of the way tonight. I mean, I wonder if he could have stayed in the game. Would he have had a triple-double? I don't know. This was a feel-good night. there's great moments in Celtics history and in Boston sports history. And, this isn't Zdeno Chara getting, a puck to the face and then playing the next night. It's not that. But it's that level. You remember it. We still talk about it. I think we'll talk about this moment from Jason Tatum coming back. The place was jumping. Jaylen Brown looked the same, supported him all night. Derek White looked like a different man. Peyton Pritchard got in his minutes off the bench. It was seamless tonight. It was a feel-good story. I know that some people have kind of hyped this up as, come on, just get out there and play. But this was good. This was a feel-good moment. I enjoyed it. I think it was something we've anticipated. I think it was worth the hype. Sometimes in sports, that doesn't always happen. We've celebrated championships here for a really long time, and we will continue to do so. Jason Tatum's a champion. Jason Tatum loves the game of basketball. He's a great human. You've never heard him do anything outside of basketball besides his son. He was hurt. He had a documentary. He loves the game of basketball, and he couldn't play. It was painful. He didn't quit. He got the tattoo tonight. This was a feel-good story. And if you think, oh, Joe, you're green teaming, it was just one game. We expected this. I thought this was a really, really nice night for the Celtics in their history. And it's not going up in the rafters. It's not a retired number. They're not going to put his Achilles up there. None of that. It was a good night, and it should be celebrated. And I think it was worth the hype. And I think Jason Tatum worked so hard. The hard work that we saw in those documentaries, I think it showed tonight. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. Skaz, I don't mean to be, I hope you don't think I'm being corny, but this was feel good. This should be celebrated. We should talk about it. It was a little unexpected. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm happy for Jason Tatum. He looks like he can come back from this. He got the slam dunk stuffed early on. That was funny, right? Like, sometimes you need a little humor in the comeback, right? Sometimes you need a little embarrassment. All that happened tonight. This was cinema. And again, I don't want to, if it's green corn, then have at it. But I thought it was a really good night for Jason Tatum, the Boston Celtics, the fans, and really the game of basketball.
Yeah, I'm with you, Joe. And Tatum's talking now post games. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some of that. But I'm with you, Joe. Who am I to say that it's corny? I need a cigarette and a cold shower after that game. I mean, that's the kind of night it was. 15 and 12. He's a plus 20, 7 assists. Like, the whole thing was, is he going to come back and look like Jason Tatum? And, obviously he didn't look like, 110% Jason Tatum on the first night, but I thought he looked pretty damn good to me. Right away, he's cutting, he's going to the basket, he's jumping for rebounds, he going to the hoop, sidestep three in the corner. Like, the Jason Tatum experience looked pretty good on night one. And you mentioned the other guys too. Kind of just, it was a little clunky, to start, and then they score 100 plus points in the final three quarters. So, I think that was to be expected. I thought Jaylen Brown had a really nice kind of quiet night, 24 points, 7 assists. Like, finding ways to kind of, not fit in, but like they're working. It's going to take a little bit for everything to kind of flow. You saw Pritchard pick it up after, he said himself post game with Grandy and Max, he was, had 2 horrible games. He holds himself to a certain standard and certainly wasn't that after his last couple goose eggs. So yeah, I thought it was a very good night for the Celtics, and you saw the immediate impact that Jason Tatum has on, not only just having him out there, but the impact he has on Jaylen Brown, and Derek White looked like a different guy tonight already, one game back with Jason Tatum. You just saw glimpses of the Derek White in the past in some of the open looks and cuts he was getting. So yeah, I thought it was let the green goo flow, Joe. Who am I to stop it tonight?
Let it flow.
If there was ever a night for it, that's not a playoff win or a championship, a night like tonight where you're one of your pillars of your franchise, one of the great players in recent memory, it comes back from an injury. for me, Joe, okay to be happy about that. Maybe unpopular, but I think it's okay to be happy about that.
All right. We'll leave it there. The phone number is 617-779-0985.
We don't have a break, Joe.
Yes, it's just Skaz and I here. So if you're calling in, be patient. We'll get to you. One guy answering the phones. We'll put you on hold. We'll take the call. If you keep calling, we'll get to you. It's just us and you.
And we're not going to break, Joe.
Oh, no breaks?
No break.
No breaks.
No.
I do want to get one other money point that happened tonight.
Oh, a money point.
Don't let me forget that.
Okay.
And then let me tease a couple of things quickly. The Patriots made a trade today. They moved on from an offensive lineman. We'll tell you who that is. And a big trade just went down that involves the Baltimore Ravens. And it may affect the New England Patriots. That's a tease. World Baseball Classic's on. Roman Anthony's playing. Manny Ramirez's kid's playing. There's a lot there. And there was a little bit of sadness in tonight's game. I shouldn't call it sadness, but a step back when it comes to an injury. So we'll load up the phone lines for you. 617-779-0985. We have no commercials right now. So we'll just be hanging out with you, reacting to the night that was of the Celtics' 120-100 win over the Dallas Mavericks tonight. Cooper Flagg made his debut, and I just wanted to share this. I have some friends that are at the Garden tonight, and Cooper Flagg stayed around after the game and signed a bunch of kids' jerseys, autographs on the floor.
You think Scal was waiting in that line?
Yeah. But, you know, that is meaningful, and it probably meant a lot for him tonight to be here. And he got hurt his foot. I wonder how he feels tomorrow morning.
He's going to look great in green in a couple of years, Joe.
Well, he's wearing green sneakers.
They didn't love the sneakers.
No.
They're fine. I love the provider, the brand, but it's the actual sneaker I didn't love.
People don't like comparisons. That's why I try not to do them.
Oh, Randy Moss, Joe.
No, but his game, he's not Dirk. Okay, don't think that's where I'm going with it. But he has a elbow inside shot that is disgusting. He'll be a 3-point shooter because that's the game. But man, I haven't seen a rookie that impactful in the paint. Shooting, not dunks like Shaq. He's good. Duh, number 1 overall pick, but no, he's going to be generationally good. Just again, I like the fact that he stuck around tonight, and 2 Duke guys, stars for either team, is really good. We'll let you know what Jason Tatum said. He's talking now. I see a bunch of guys. Our very own Jake Seymour is there tonight, so we'll hear from him as well.
I believe Alex Barth in the building as well.
Barth. This isn't our Joe. Is there a Street Team Joe I know is at the game?
That is not our Joe,
Okay,
no.
Street Team Joe is already, he's made a text chain for us tonight called Green Goo.
A lot of goo in there.
And he sat front row for that one tonight. Like, I can only imagine. I must be on at the Garden, too, because they just said, Murray, shout you out. So there we go. Everybody listen at the Garden. This is great tonight. All right. Anything bad besides the Vucevic injury that stinks?
Yeah, I would say the Vuce injury is not great, but Garza looked good. Luka Garza looked good. He's been pretty solid all year. A nice surprise. Neemias Kada, obviously the biggest surprise of this season, but Luka Garza, maybe a close second.
He's a pro, man.
He is.
They traded all the free agents that they brought in. They kept him. He's been the guy that's been buried. And when they play him,
he's gonna have a shot now.
But he's always performed. They did this earlier in the year, remember? Like he's a pro. If you can get third big minutes from him, they didn't have a guy last year, and they wouldn't even go to Kada. And he was on the court. He was on the roster, and they didn't even go to him. All right, let's talk. You guys are leaving the game tonight. Let's hear from you at 617-779-0985. Let's start with Evan. He's leaving the game. What's up, Evan?
Yeah, how's it going?
Good.
We just left the Garden. I tell you what, it felt so natural. It felt like he never left. It felt like every other game he's had there. And I tell you, that feels like it's going to be one of those. That's going to be the highlight you see in 20 years in the documentary. The Tatum comeback game when he came back from injury, and it felt like he never left. It was perfect.
Just real quick, did it feel different in there tonight?
It felt electric. It felt so much different than any other regular season game you could get to. You know, they had all the pageantry around it. They had the videos. They had the whole outside. People were lining up outside the Garden an hour and a half early just to get in before doors. It was unbelievable. It felt great, and it lived up to it, and he did great. He did as good as I could expect, and I think he's going to come back into it supernatural. He's going to be great.
Yeah, I think he fit into what they were doing. Remember we talked about this? Jason Tatum's one of the top. Oh, yeah. Jason Tatum's one of the top 5 players in the league. Can he adjust to the new chemistry? Can he do what they do? Is he going to be a distraction? Oh, what a bunch of losers out there. You going to call us green teamers? When you guys are just haters. For real. Is he going to be a distraction? How's he going to fit into the chemistry with Jay? It's Jaylen Brown. It's Jaylen Brown's team.
I wonder if Jaylen Brown had any comments about Jason Tatum's return.
Well, I haven't heard after the game, but I heard it before the game. Can play that later. It sounded to me, okay, listen, I already know what he said. They all want him back. They want him back. Imagine being a playoff team with a 2 seed with a chance to go to the finals. And Jason Tatum's coming back and you're mad? You're upset about it. It's a bad thing. It's stupid. The documentary stuff is just so stupid. Why just play the game? People, oh my God. This was beautiful. This was good. This wasn't like a charade, was it?
I don't think Achilles tears are charades typically, Joe. I would have to guess. Maybe that's a bold take. But I would say typically not a charade.
He didn't go out there, didn't look good, gave a wave and went back to the bench. It wasn't like a victory lap.
No, he said he was going to come back and be Jason Tatum, and he looked like Jason Tatum to me.
He was good. He would have had a triple-double, damn it, if they didn't take him out. And maybe I'm stretching it a little bit there, but why not? That's what the legend's going to be. That's the kind of night it was. Jason Tatum, gone for 299 days, shows up against Cooper Flagg, the number 1 overall pick in the draft. They started off shaky, and he has a triple-double almost, and didn't even finish the game and got a standing ovation at the 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter. While Jaylen Brown had 24 points, Derek White had 20-something, Pritchard was great off the bench. Everybody looked good. It looks like they have a rotation now.
Just one thing on the game. Boy, the Mavericks stink, huh?
They have fallen.
The Nico Harrison experiment didn't work out there. That's maybe don't give a failed ad executive the keys to the franchise.
I saw Chris Middleton all night long. He had 7 points.
Yeah.
No, I saw him everywhere.
He was out there.
I feel bad, guy.
A lot of cardio.
No, he's good. He's good.
Well,
he was good.
He was. Key piece of that Bucks championship.
Told you I sold a car once to Dwight Powell.
Yes. Still in the league.
Back in 2014. 2 points tonight.
There you go.
Still going.
Yeah.
Good for him. I wonder if that car's still going.
Heck of a roster.
Think he's still driving a Nissan these days?
I would have to imagine maybe that car has been passed down to some family members at this point.
P.J. Washington's fallen, huh?
Yes, not the same P.J. Washington from years ago.
Remember everyone wanted to trade for him?
Yes. You got into it with Tatum a couple times.
That's right. Oh, Max Christie? Woof.
He's all right.
Woof.
He's all right. Young kid.
Woof.
Borderline.
Caleb Martin?
Yeah, remember when he couldn't miss with the Heat? That hurt him. And
wait, Klay Thompson?
Yes,
he played tonight.
He did. He was out there.
He had 19 points. Did not register with me. Hey, Brandon Williams actually looked pretty good.
Max and Sean both fans of him. I think he can play.
Is Ryan Nembhard
the other brother of brother? Yes, Andrew? Yes,
good to know.
Good player. Kind of worked his way into the team.
All right, they stink. Good luck going to Cooper Flagg. Kevin's in the car. Kevin.
Hey, guys. Call me a green teamer. I'm bleeding green tonight.
Good.
I called in not long ago, and I was asking, do you think the team's going to step up around Tatum? Everything has changed. I just want to honestly hear your thoughts. It was kind of a busy night. Do you think this team's got what it takes? We got Tatum back. Jaylen Brown looked even extra motivated tonight. I just want to know what you guys think. We really going to bring this thing home? Because if we do, we are going to look back on this night. So thank you. I'll hang up.
Thank you. Okay. Not ready to go that far right now. But Kevin, who called, was in green tears.
Let the goo flow, Kevin. Let it flow.
It was green tears. He definitely had Celtics gloves on walking.
Some green colored tinted glasses there.
Yeah.
I will say this, Joe. I'm not going to tell you they're going to win the title or anything like that, but their chances are better today than they were yesterday.
Bet you the odds changed significantly. DraftKings reached out to me. They wanted me to have Johnny Avallo on tonight, well, we obviously just couldn't commit to that because of the game. But I'm curious now. Should I even look at the book? You know what's going to tell the difference, though? Like, that guy's excited, and thank you. Listen, this is what the night means. The night now means Kevin in the car has got green go for the championship. Now people are thinking we have a basketball season. Because I'll tell you, I told you this. If you listen to me at 6 o'clock tonight, I didn't think this could happen. So, yes, this did mean something tonight. And by the way, you're listening to WBZ FM 98.5 The Sports Hub. Do we have to do the ID or anything? Or?
We have a 10 o'clock headline. So yeah.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, nice job, though. Very professional. But
Very
yes, we do have a legal ID and a headline here.
21 degrees at 10:06 on Joe Murray. On Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Jason Tatum tonight was spectacular. And he took everybody home. He might have tried to dunk and missed. But then, he shot it from downtown. Let's take a quick break. I'm Smooth Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
From the Telfair Tire Studios, this is Boston's Home for Sports. Touchdown! The flagship station of the Patriots, Bruins, the Celtics, WBCFM and HD Boston 98.5, The Sports Hub. Leslie Media Group Station, celebrating 65 years of broadcasting. Essential Sports Hub headline, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics winners 121-10 in Jason Tatum's return. He had 15 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. He was a plus 20, ho-hum. But it was stupid, and it was embarrassing, and all that. The Patriots traded Garrett Bradbury to the Bears for a fifth-round pick. Bradbury played all 17 games for the Pats last year. Patriots also signed Tommy DeVito, 2-year contract, $7 million extension. The Ravens have acquired Max Crosby from the Raiders in exchange for pick number 14 this year and a first-round pick in 2027 from the Ravens. So Max Crosby off to Baltimore. Bruins play a matinee tomorrow. They did not make really any trades today, the minor league trades, at the deadline. In the World Baseball Classic, USA is a 7-1 lead right now over Brazil. Headlines, they are brought to you by... Super Service Today. When your heat or hot water goes out, waiting isn't an option. Super Service Today's warehouse in Danvers is stocked with water heaters, furnaces, boilers, heat pumps, same-day replacement, day or night, and always done right. Visit superservicetoday.com. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update soon.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5, The Sports Hub.
It's been a long time coming just to get to this point. Nights and days I dreamed about this moment, and the anticipation, the crowd. It's been 42 and a half weeks since I played an NBA game, so just trying to get caught up on the speed and everything. I just kind of felt like I was a step off or moving too fast, but the game's hard to slow down. as I just kind of relaxed a little bit.
Today's the next game, though. Sunday, Cleveland. 3 road games in a row now. Cleveland, San Antonio, Oklahoma City. That's a gauntlet. Hey, do you think he plays all 3s, guys? Like, would you sit him out Sunday and play him against San Antonio, or does that matter?
I mean, you would think you'd want him to play against the Eastern Conference team.
Yeah, that, and then maybe
but it is a
skip one of them.
quicker turnaround with the Sunday at 12:30, 1 o'clock, whatever it is. So, yeah, that'll be the question if he plays in all 3. I'd be pretty surprised if he does play in all 3. You would just think he would need, a maintenance day in there somewhere, especially with it being Cleveland, San Antonio, and Oklahoma City. Those are 3, tough opponents that are all, in the playoff hunt, in the playoff fight. So, yeah, I would expect him to sit at least one of those games.
I look at it as like he just played a game today, right? What do you think? They'll fly out tomorrow?
Yeah, probably.
And then have Sunday. So, like, the flight after playing a game, like, I don't. That's what I'm thinking about. He is a professional athlete. I'm an old man. So, like, I could think about that as like, ooh, could Sunday be a little, sore? Joe Mazzulla on Tatum tonight. He looked relatively good conditioning-wise. Better than I thought it was going to be, especially at the pace we played at. Isn't that the takeaway? It was better than we all thought? That's what's amazing. That's the story. Guy worked hard to come back. And by the way, I've heard, I don't want to blare. I'm not blaring. Don't think I'm blaring. But, hey, is like, this is just like a normal recovery. Is it? Because the Celtics didn't treat the season like that. Ownership didn't, at least. Ownership was like, you sell everybody off, and if you're in it at the end and you get Tatum back, you got a shot. That's what happened. But they could have tanked, too. They could have if they wanted to. I said to sit out Jaylen Brown, didn't I? That was my original thought, was sit them both out. How's that would look now? Carl in Westfield. Carl.
Joe, it's been a while, and I think what you said about being down isn't being down when it really did look awful. It looked like from going back, it was a dismembering and a separation, and then the ultimate and tragic injury, the big highlight. And then, like the caller said tonight, when you look back, this will be the highlight return. And like Stas said, a real integrated and much more mature team. The young players, as Jaylen noted, they've really come together and played so much well compared to the scattered and turnovers and the missed opportunities and the no rebounding. And then tonight, bringing back, and lo and behold, one of the best players is back in condition and displaying that, with the amount of points and the assists and moving the ball around. To think with Sacramento, how they snatched up Oklahoma, and look what our team is doing as a team. And Derek, Kojak, White, this team is very strong and not shady. And as a fan, I can say, who loves you, baby? And welcome back.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you. A little tough to hear.
We love you, baby, and welcome back was mostly what I got out of that call.
We love you, baby. We'll welcome you back. Where I've been, where I'm about to go. I just want to love you for who I am. That's all I got in my head right now. What else, guys? What else? Everybody wants to. Someone just tweeted at me, rest him for the playoffs. Why not, right?
Who will play more games the rest of the season, Jason Tatum or the combination of Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford, and Drew Holiday?
Oh. Tatum.
I might lean Tatum, Joe.
Tatum, for real.
Yeah.
Justin.
Hey, Joe, I'm very happy with the way Jason Tatum played tonight. And I know I called in yesterday on one of your shows and said that I was concerned, and I was, because I wasn't sure how he was going to come out, but I thought he was really good, and he looked connected, and, just take it easy on him. You don't want him to re-hurt himself again.
All All right, Justin. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. Justin entered the chat today on Nesson. Gabe from West Roxbury entered the chat.
A couple. You're getting some regulars.
Yeah, we are getting regulars now on the Nesson show. Nesson, Boston's entered the chat. Plug 4:00 on Nesson. I'm on. I was on with Lucy today, Lucy Burge, and Keegan Stiefel.
Good trade deadline talk.
We were on with Razor, Andrew Aycroft, Billy Jaffe, remember him?
Yes.
And then Sophia Yurkovich. And we had a little 6-person panel. And let me tell you, it was a riveting trade deadline.
A lot going on for the Bruins.
No, it was riveting. Some real just like,
Yeah, Corey Perry getting traded again.
Yeah.
Nazem Kadri.
Hey, who's older, me or Corey Perry?
I think it's you, Joe.
I think he played like when I was in high school.
Yeah, he was on one of the Ducks team in like, I don't know, if it feels like 03 or something like that.
Well, he played with Sean Thornton on that team, I think. No, I'm pretty sure when I was in high school, I heard of Perry.
Yeah, Corey Perry was drafted in 2003. He was started playing in the NHL in 2004.
Okay,
he is 40 years old.
So I graduated high school in 2000. So yes, so within my 4 years, he would have been a freshman when I was a senior. Imagine playing hockey that long. Well, guys do. I mean,
he's been in the NHL for most of 3/4 of my life.
So Corey Perry has played more hockey seasons than Scaramuzzino's life.
No, I don't know. I wouldn't go that far.
Adult life?
We're getting close.
How about with a memory?
No,
Life with a memory.
2004, I was, 9, 10 years old, Joe. I have memory there.
Okay.
Not much, but
9. Okay. So you and Corey Perry have basically the same life thoughts.
Sure, I don't know if I'd go that far.
You went to the Rangers?
He's been everywhere. Yeah, I don't even know anymore. He stinks.
Yeah. I just thought that was funny today when I heard that. Carlson to the gone from Washington.
Yeah, end of an era there.
Ovechkin was in tears, I saw.
They grew up together was the quote I saw.
Oh. In Russia?
On the Capitals, I believe.
Where's Tom Wilson these days?
Still there in Washington, I think.
Did he cry too?
I don't know.
Wonder if he cries. But yeah, we're getting the regulars now on Boston's Enter the Chat. You guys can join too. I forget the phone number.
Speaking of regulars, Joe, did you see Deuce back at his post today? He was
popcorn.
He was back courtside as well. So things are turning back to normal at the Garden.
So what was funny was...
Is Deuce allowed to stay out past his bedtime now? Is that okay? Or, because of his age, he's allowed now? There's no more?
You know what? Do we have time for this? We're going to hear from Jake Seymour. He said 10:35.
10:35, yes.
So...
Boots on the ground. Big Jack.
Is it okay if I talk about this Estella thing?
This what? What thing?
You don't know about this?
Estella?
There was a bar in Boston.
Oh, the Patriots thing. Yes,
the Patriots
went
to party after the AFC Championship.
Yes, I am familiar. I think Joe Mazzulla and the Midday Show are going to go to dinner there.
Oh, great.
I believe so.
I think this will benefit Estella in the long run. But, players went, and I guess the tab wasn't paid. They brought some of their own booze, which you shouldn't do.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
And someone narked on them. So, in a way, like, the owner let the Patriots do what they want to do because they were going to the Super Bowl. If I owned an establishment and the Patriots were like, hey, man, can we come through? I'd be like, you're going to the Super Bowl? You guys can do whatever you want. Now, they wear hookah, and maybe some friends.
Oh, the horror, Joe.
Entertainment.
How dare they? Adults making adult decisions.
My whole thing is this.
Who's ratting on the New England Patriots?
Like, do you think Jack Hughes will ever buy a drink again in New Jersey?
I would hope not.
Me too.
Honestly, in the continental United States, you shouldn't have to buy a drink. Never mind New Jersey.
You're absolutely right about that. I just have this thing where it's like, if the Patriots just clinch to go to the Super Bowl, and they show up to your bar, it's on the house.
Yeah,
like you're made. anything you want, like that's literally. That's why I don't like the story. Remember the tab we heard about from the Bruins years ago?
100,000. Surprised Pat McAfee didn't pick that one up.
Oh, well, where was McAfee? Was he still playing? You're right. Like someone, if someone feels so bad about this Estella guy, why don't they pay the tab? Anyways, my whole point is, Jason Tatum tonight, if he goes to Strega and sees Strega Dave and all those guys, Nick better not charge him. He had a great game tonight. It's a good story. I hope he takes a photo with a large meatball they have.
He's going to McDonald's, Joe.
Oh, my God. I should go see him.
Get one of the big arches, Do
you think that owner tried it?
Oh, I don't. Well, that's, there's a lot of controversy there.
I don't think I'm spoiling this, but Jason Tatum goes to the McDonald's on Soldiers Field Road next to the 24-hour IHOP.
I think they advertise that, like on the billboard.
On the thing.
Yeah, that he goes there. Yes, I don't think you're spoiling it.
I ordered one day, and the guy recognized my voice. And he goes, "Hey, Joe, hey, how are you?" And I go, "Hey, what's up? What's going on with Jason Tatum?" I asked him about Jason Tatum's injury. And he goes, he's doing all right. We're sending him food, And I was like, I'm glad to hear that. So I feel like I have a connection to Jason Tatum now.
Via McDonald's. The only way Joe Murray connects, via McDonald's.
I mean, at least Fred sees him at the CVS at Newton.
I've heard of LinkedIn before, but have you heard of Mickey D's?
McDin.
Yes.
Just like I met Skaz at a Hooters.
That's a true story. No lies told there.
Oh, God. How are we a show? How does this happen?
I don't know. I wonder that often. Can I just give you a little more green goo while we're at it?
Give me the goo.
This is real Celtics goo. This isn't solely Tatum-driven, but it's more the Celtics as a franchise. And Frank Isola, who's been around forever, he was around the horn guy, PTI guy. I think he's the Yes Network now. But he tweets, in a league of tanking and load management, it's refreshing to see a guy who will do anything to play competitive basketball again. And I think that's a great point, and it does speak to Tatum. But I think, for me, it's more about the Celtics as a whole. Like, they were never going to tank this year. We haven't played the Jaylen Brown comments from yesterday or this morning yet, but just they never had that mentality. Tatum was always going to come back this season, and for the people that, well, then what's the point of the documentary? Like, I don't know, welcome to 2026. Like, this is how things operate now. It wasn't purely a Jason Tatum decision. I know it was a massage, but that's how all of these things work now. But I think the Celtics do deserve credit in a league that has kind of lost itself or lost the fight with teams in the tanking battle. You look at Utah, and I mean the bottom 10 teams in the league I think are on a 43-game combined losing streak right now in the NBA, which almost seems mathematically impossible. So the Celtics just refuse to do that, and I think they, I don't know if they've been rewarded for it, but in a league where teams do tank and the product isn't, great on a nightly basis, I understand that problem with the league. The Celtics now find themselves in the 2 seed with Jason Tatum coming back because of that organizational philosophy and just the belief in Jaylen Brown, Joe Mazzulla, Derek White, and those guys. And I think Brad Stevens and Joe Mazzulla deserve a ton of credit for, and obviously Jaylen Brown, but for having this team in this position this year with Jason Tatum not being involved until this point.
I think the league's got, how like Mike Vrabel said, beat bad football. There is a lot of bad basketball, but that's not why they're here, right? Like you could attribute the league and tanking and stuff like that, which I think is a part of it. Like if you look at the Patriots, they lost to the Raiders, dude, who had the first pick in the draft. There's bad basketball, but that's not why they're the second best team in the East. By the way, did you see the back of the New York Post today? They showed they're like scared that Jason Tatum's coming back.
Good.
I forget what the front title said, but it was Tatum on the ground, and it was like the New York Knicks are scared now that Tatum's coming back.
I saw Karl Anthony Towns was asked about it, and he basically said, look, I'm happy for him, good for him, wishing him the best, but it is not like it has nothing to do with us. Like, we need to, if we don't play well, it doesn't matter who's out there. We'll lose anyways. So, a very, a professional answer.
Very professional. Well, why don't we do this? Let's take a break. We got Jake coming up. Why don't we do this? Ravens get Max Crosby. Huge move. They gave up a lot. You give up the 14th pick in the draft in a first rounder next year.
That's a lot.
Let's remember they draft well there, right? They're all their stars. Zay Flowers, like all their players are homegrown for the most part. So giving up assets, like I don't know if Harbaugh would have done that, to be honest with you. Maybe that's the tweak in the organization. But now you think about the offensive line for the Patriots, that's an impact. That goes against them, right? How about the other thing? Does this now open up A.J. Brown? Sounds like the Ravens and the Patriots were the ones interested in A.J. Brown. Now that they give up 2 first-round picks, does that take A.J. Brown off the table? So I think that's how it impacts the Patriots as well. And then, of course, the Patriots today traded Garrett Bradbury to the Bears. The Bears center retired. He's now going to go back to the NFC North. He played for the Vikings. I think it's a little like I would have wanted more than a 5th-round pick for Bradbury. I also think maybe they were doing him a solid. Hey, man, we'll send you to a good team where you want to go. We'll get a 5th-round pick. Maybe they just didn't want to pay them. I don't know. Maybe they were just ready to move on because they have Wilson and Ben Brown there. That feels like more of a solid move than, let's say, trying to get the most you can for a guy who started 17 games. And that's it. So that's what we have on the sports front tonight. You can react to all that. On the other side, we want you to just hear something that Jaylen Brown said it last night on a stream regarding Jason Tatum's return. I think you should clean your ears out for this one. Because when the people wonder what the relationship is like between Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, turn up your radios because you're going to want to hear this. And Jake Seymour is at the press conference right now. We're going to hear from him live from the Garden. Coming up on the other side, I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
They've been getting wholesale deals for years.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hall.
First, I want to commend JT for taking that notion and be like, I want to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So him even wanting to come back was, I feel like, an unselfish act, putting his body on the line in order for us to accomplish something great. We're both on the same page. We had a good talk today about what we want, what we talked about, just the mindset that we both want to come back and add to winning. I'm looking forward to him. He should be back tomorrow. This is a different group than we played with before, younger. We're used to playing with a little bit more experienced players over the last few years. It's a younger group, so it's a different dynamic. They're going to feed off of the energy that we kind of create. So I think we have a great understanding about what it needs to win. We've won for a long time. We know how to find success. So, I think that we're on the same page.
All right, that was Jaylen Brown on his stream last night. Just to reiterate, commending Jason Tatum. An unselfish act. They had a talk and have the same goals and want to accomplish things together. Same mindset. They want to add to what they've already done. He's looking forward to having him back. The team is younger. They used to play on a more experienced team. He's hoping that people can feed off their energy and have a great understanding of each other.
Yes, and that was on the Cousins podcast with Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter, I believe.
So, for anyone that has the Jaylen Brown, Jason
He's going to
Tatum,
mess up the chemistry, Joe. They hate each other.
They don't like each other.
No.
So, just wanted to play that so everybody could hear it, because we work in fact on this show, just so, not narratives. Jake Seymour is at the Garden. You can check out his work, 98.5thesportsup.com. Jake, how was it tonight? Was it all green and gooey?
Oh, it was so much green goo, Joe. I thought there was a lot yesterday on the Green Tears podcast, but Scaz and I were hosting that. But, man, I didn't bring enough towels to soak this up, Joe, I got to say.
Well, did they at least get a T-shirt? I know they put them on everybody's seats.
Yeah, I saw the T-shirts pregame. It was actually cool. I guess it was like a jersey T-shirt, I guess you could call it. It was Tatum and 0 on the back with the Celtics logo on the front. So not really a typical jersey, but nonetheless, I saw people wearing it. It looked like they were cool shirts to get today.
Did you just hear the Jaylen Brown comments regarding Jason Tatum, an unselfish act? They had a talk, great mindset. Did you hear all that?
I was not in the locker room post-game, so I did not hear those.
Oh, no, we just played it coming back. He was on a podcast last night saying that, it was an unselfish act for Jason Tatum to come back, and they have a great understanding of each other. So did it look like they had that on the court tonight?
Yeah, it actually looked like they did, and I will say, right at halftime, after the pregame or the halftime shooting warm-ups concluded, they were walking to the bench, Brown and Tatum, and when they got over to the bench, Brown kind of put his hands on Tatum's shoulder. He was behind him, almost as like a, hey, we're here, getting ready to go, like let's get to it moment. And I thought it was kind of symbolic of what they've gone through and how they've grown together in their careers over the last 9-10 years, is that we had all these concerns before they won the championship about if they could do it together. They finally get over the hump, and it seemed like that narrative almost circulated again, considering how Brown was playing and without Tatum. And I thought that moment was special because it was so little that I don't know how many people picked up on it, and Brown didn't have to do that, right? It wasn't something that the cameras were on him, and he just did it in the moment. It was something so small that he just did. And I think it helped in that second half, and Tatum had those 10 points. I know he closed with 5 points at the end of the first half, and the Celtics completely ran away with the game from that point. I just thought it was a nice moment for the two of them, considering what they've gone through the last 10 months.
So that I just want to kind of keep it there, Jake. There was a lot of criticism about, the way that about his comeback, whether it's the documentary. Let's just call it what it is. There were some people that maybe expected him to come back, but, for a humble guy, he kind of did some things that maybe were uncharacteristic. Like that documentary is uncharacteristic. I do think he is a boring guy, but he's also one of the top 5 players in the league. I think he's the face of going to be one of the American faces of basketball. tonight was a really good moment. I know some people wanted to just get out there and play basketball, but like I think the moment itself could be like something to catapult the team for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it definitely could be. I remember talking to Scaz about this last night, and the thing that stands out about this is that it makes them from not only before Tatum came back, I think we all had this assumption that given how this year went, they were a playoff team that was probably going to get to the second round, maybe get to the conference finals, and that was probably the ceiling of this. The way Tatum played tonight, I would say, puts them right in the favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference and contend for a title, which, Joe, 10 months ago, could you imagine if you and I said 10 months ago that the Celtics would be contending for a title with Tatum's injury and him coming back? It would have been unheard of. We wouldn't have said that. So that, to me, it kind of plays into that point, is that Tatum came back tonight. Did he have his moments where he struggled? Yeah, he missed his first 6 shots. He had a dunk that got blocked by the rim, but he rebounded nicely, had a dominant second half, and that second half performance is what led the Celtics to run away with this game. They jump out to a 20-point lead to finish it. It was a 1-point game, late in that first half. So all those things come together that you see, okay, this is what this team can be when they're at full strength, especially with a healthy Jason Tatum.
This is James Scaramazino, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Jake,
hey, Scaz.
One thing you've been hammering this year on the Green Teamers podcast is Derek White and Derek White's kind of play without Jason Tatum this year. What did you see, not from Tatum tonight, but kind of from the rest of the roster fitting in around Tatum and Derek White especially?
Yeah, Derek White was great in this game. 8 of 16 from the field, struggled from three-point range, 2 of 7, but he had finished with 20 points. And he was the player who I had circled as the person who would have the biggest benefit to Tatum coming back because they were so close, and White really thrives off what Tatum can provide for him as a facilitator on the offensive end. And to me, that was the person who stood out the most. He also had Peyton Pritchard coming off the bench, 8 of 17 and 18 points tonight. And we talked about Pritchard a lot, guys, and talked to him as this player who, can he go in the starting lineup on a few games in a week and maybe contribute in that way? Sure. But the way that you want Peyton Pritchard contributing on a basketball team striving for a championship is coming off the bench. He won the 6th Man of the Year last year. He's a player that you can count on to provide a spark off the bench. And I think now that Tatum's back, and I know Peyton Pritchard moved to the bench before Tatum officially came back, but now that Tatum's back, it kind of cements Pritchard's role. It helps White find his rhythm. Jaylen Brown did his thing with 24 points tonight. All these things almost felt like it was just coming together at the right moment for this team.
We're talking to Jake Seymour. He's at the Garden. Follow him on Twitter, _Jake, Seymour. That's Jake Seymour. Jake, the one thing I thought I saw that was different tonight, lately they've been going high pick and roll, whether it's Kada, Vucevic, whoever, right? Tonight it was more a drive and kick. Drive and kick it out. Drive and kick it out. It just seemed like that might, I don't know if it was play calls. It just, maybe that was just to kind of get guys open. Like early on, Tatum would drive a little alley-oop to Kada, right? Drive, kick out to Derek White. Just that, is that different? Is that them trying to find the 2-on-1? It seemed like that was the motive tonight with Jason Tatum's return.
Yeah, it did feel a little different in that sense. And I will say there were still some of those, drive to the basket and work around the paint. It wasn't all just kick out and the high pick and rolls like you mentioned. Yeah. Like they certainly did that, but it wasn't just specifically only that. The one play that I will highlight that I think you kind of mentioned there a little bit is Tatum had that extra pass to White on the wing. And that, to me, like in that moment, it was in the first quarter. Tatum was trying to find his shot. I don't know if like a year ago, Tatum probably would have pulled up. It would have been a corner three, would have been a high quality shot. Instead, he ditched it to White, who was wide open for a wing three, and that was the higher quality shot. So that, to me, stood out is that not only did Tatum pass up on the shot, he helped facilitate a better shot. And that Kada plays you mentioned too, Tatum said postgame, and I actually thought was a good point that he brought up, is that this is really the first time that he's playing with Kada. I know Kada was on the roster in years before, but Kada and what he's done this year is not the same from what he did in previous years. He was more of a bench player, backup option, and a depth piece for the Celtics team. This year, he's the starting center and playing valuable minutes. And Tatum hasn't played with that version of Kada. So how can they continue to mesh, and do you see more pick and roll? I think it's something that we're going to have to monitor and see how that develops over the next few weeks.
Jason Tatum's rebound line today was 5. I went over. He had 12, dude. And listen, people forget that how great Jason Tatum is. He's a big, right? In this league, he's the guy who plays the 4 and has to rebound. Maybe that's something he noticed tonight playing with Kada, was that, although he had 12 rebounds, there's another guy there that's active and goes after balls, and Kada had 15 rebounds tonight.
15 rebounds for Kada. Again, we've talked about, Joe, about how valuable Kada's been, and I remember earlier on the season, I had mentioned that I thought it was more so that the Celtics needed a big man, not necessarily just Kada. Then Kada was playing great, but the Celtics lacked a big man. And we're seeing not only that I was kind of proven wrong in that yes, Celtics do need a big man, but Kada is actively contributing and creating opportunities for himself. Those rebounds you bring out, it's only going to get him more playing time, more opportunities. Missoula loves the hustle that brings. So I think all those things helps him out. And then when you have Tatum coming back and he's contributing with rebounds, it once again helps out with the hustle and getting on the fast break and out in transition, especially when you get Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Sam Hauser, maybe the trail man in some of those possessions as well. And all this happened tonight, Joe, without Jordan Walsh, who has been a contributor for the Celtics team all season too. So I don't want that to get lost in it either, is that this team took a big step tonight. Tatum played great. He had a double-double, was on pace for a triple-double at halftime. It was a great night for him, but it also showed you what this Celtics team can be at full strength, and that's tied up together.
All right, we're talking to Jake Seymour. 2 more, man. Vucevic broke his finger. He's going to be out a month. I'm actually kind of curious how they handle this one, because Luka Garza, man, break glass in case of emergency. He's a true pro, man. He's the only guy they really kept, if you think about it, from all their moves this year. What a pro. Guy can come right in. He knocked down a couple of threes. I think they're going to need him.
Definitely. And I think he was really the only guy that they brought in the offseason that contributed in terms of the guys that had to let go of the deadline, right? Anthony Simons was contributing, but you flip him to get an upgrade at big man. So that makes sense of a move. But guys like Chris Boucher, he wasn't contributing. Xavier Tillman also wasn't in the rotation. Luka Garza kind of separated, Minot, the same thing, right? Garza, from that group of people, separated himself among the offseason acquisitions. Him and Simons did that. And I thought it was telling that at the deadline when they decided to move off Simons to go get an upgrade at big man, at the big man depth, Garza was never moved as a part of that. They let go of the other pieces around him, but made sure to keep him. I think the Celtics really believe in Garza, and he's given them every reason to do that. I mean, tonight you said it, the glass breaks, and he's in there. 4 of 8 shooting. He had 10 points. At one point, it felt like he was the main focal point of the offense in some ways, especially early on in that first quarter. Kind of cooled off there a little bit toward the end. But still, Garza is going to be crucial, especially if Vucevic misses more than a month, especially with the playoffs come around. And I know in previous years, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, Joe, but in previous years you would have said, it's the first round of the playoffs, just see how it goes, and you'll be fine. It's the first round of the playoffs. Well, you can't really do that this year because the East feels like it's not a deep conference, but there's some difficult teams to play in that first round potentially, and matches up well against Celtics. And on top of that, you also want to maximize the runway and getting acclimated with Tatum. They got 19 regular season games to do that, but you're going to want to do that in the first round of the playoffs and make sure everything's all smooth over before it really starts to heat up in the second round.
All right, Jake, great job tonight, man. Do you think Tatum plays Sunday, and how do you think they play the West Coast, the road trip here with Oklahoma City, San Antonio, and Cleveland Sunday?
So I feel like he has to sit one of those games, just given the fact that it would be incredibly difficult to imagine a scenario where Tatum is playing every game over this last 19-game stretch, because he's coming off of 10 months without playing basketball. He's going to be sore. There's going to be ups and downs. I think early on you saw the conditioning be different in terms of it wasn't like he was the Tatum that we saw in previous years. And you kind of saw him get acclimated, get his legs underneath him, and then it all started clicking that second half. So for me, I think he plays Sunday, but I got one of the games on the West Coast coming up, San Antonio. Does he maybe miss that game to be ready for the Oklahoma City game, which could be a finals preview now? All those things to me, I feel like are signs that he doesn't play every game this road trip. But the one thing that he has going for him right now is that if he does play every game, he's going to have enough rest between it. They're playing Sunday against Cleveland, Tuesday in San Antonio, and then Thursday at OKC. It's a day off between every game, and then they're back Saturday to play the Wizards. So he's going to have at least one off day to prepare himself and get ready for the next game.
All right, Jake. Appreciate you, man. Nice job tonight. This was a memorable moment. You'll remember Jason Tatum's return. And we'll catch up when I see you next week.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
All right, he's Jake Seymour, everybody. Solid job. Live from the Garden tonight. Jason Tatum's return. Catch him and Skaz on the Green Teamers podcast. It's on YouTube. You can check it out there. What a night. Should mention Roman Anthony just had an RBI in the World Baseball Classic. They're winning 8-4.